Hello there. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Oh, wow. The networks are funny, but we are going on all the same. I know we're going to have a good time today. My name is Oluwayomi Ute, and it's my joy to come your way this very beautiful Monday morning. Now, if you're on this side of the planet, if you happen to be in Nigeria, happy anniversary to us. So I'm adorning the green and the white today just to honor this nation. I know that a lot of things are going on. I know that we are not there yet, but I believe in the new Nigeria. I believe that a new Nigeria is coming up pretty soon, sooner than you can imagine, and all of us will enjoy it. And that is my prayer in the name of Jesus. So today we are continuing our discuss on rags to riches, turning recession into progression. And last week I have my notes by me, as you can see, and I hope you also have your notes too, because a lot of times we need to write these things down. The faintest of pencil is still better than the sharpest of memory because it can fail, but there's something to turn to. And last week, our guest talked extensively on having the right mindset, talked about having a mind shift. And how do you do that? Very quickly, reflect on the past, interrogate the present, interrogate and anticipate the future. Three basic things, and you shouldn't forget that. Remember, reflect on the past, interrogate the present, and anticipate the future. And we are continuing today with very practical steps. Again, my guest is a strategy consultant with over 18 years experience working with fast moving goods, automobile, retailing, manufacturing, oil and gas, finance, and education sectors. He is a principal consultant of Exdura Solutions Limited, an education technology and research company. Is a founding member of Strategic Management Forum UK, a body of scholars committed to making strategic management a professional practice globally. Is a visiting business strategy facilitator to leading business schools in Africa, including our own Lagos Business School, where he has taught and consulted on strategy issues for over 9 years. He consults with CIPRA, an arm of Lagos Business School too, to deliver economic development strategies to state governments in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, we've met him before. Again, welcome on stage today on the Knox to Nugget platform, Dr. Dolapo Sukuru. Hey, great to have you in the house.
Hello, good morning. Thanks once again for having me here, and happy independence again from
Yeah.
Nigeria. Thank you.
Yes, happy independence. And a lot of Nigerians are watching us all over from Canada, from Austria. Quite a number of
Awesome.
people. And non Nigerians are still on the call as well. And I celebrate every one of you, irrespective of your tribe, your color, your race. I simply celebrate you because we are all together, and together we always win. So today, Dr. Tukuru, we're going to continue and break it down further. So we looked at it on the global scale last week, but somebody is asking me, I run a supermarket, and this pandemic has so disrupted things, and it's tough to bounce back. How do I bounce back? Somebody says, I'm even a farmer, but things are looking very tough. I don't want to confess recession, but it's staring me in the face. How do I turn it into progression? So over to you, Dr. Tukuru.
Great. Thanks once again. So again, to cascade this down, the basic still remains that the average business owner or entrepreneur, apparently there's a very fine line between the two. Um, what this pandemic has also done, or the recession does, is to help us to really assess whether we are entrepreneurs or business owners. And the very fine line is
Mm,
it's about the structure that we have. So there are many people out there who call themselves entrepreneurs, but they're actually business owners. All right, and they're very
mm,
distinct. So when challenges come to to a business person, we then begin to see whether you are at all structured, whether you have a strategy as you imply, whether you've ever thought about being building a recession-proof business or not. But the truth is that most of the people doing business today are actually business owners, not entrepreneurs. the structure to be able to withstand the turbulence when the recession comes is not there. And this is an opportunity to
Mm.
start doing what lasts, because many people just out of boredom, out of seeing one opportunity, out of seeing their colleague make money in a particular business, they dive into it. But my philosophy is that when challenges comes, it comes to separate those who are serious from those who are not serious, those who know what to do from those who don't know what to do. So for me, it's a time where business owners should transit into being entrepreneurs and learn the art of doing business. It's an art, it's a science also, and I think this is very important discussions to start having. There's a reason why people go to business schools, all right, to learn how to do a business. People just assume that I can wake up and start doing business, and then I hope that I will succeed. Hope is not a strategy, like we'll always say, and then you must be very deliberate about every phase of your business, from the ideation stage to the execution stage, and possibly looking at the sustainability of the business in the long run. So for me, the entrepreneur again has to sit down and assess where am I in terms of resources, in terms of ideas, in terms of taking stock of the client that I have. I mean, whether you've lost clients or not, understand where you are. Okay, I mean, for you to be able to progress or take the next big step, you've got to be able to access um, where you are, and then you then begin to build towards the future. So for me, my stake um, in business is that business owners, most of them I've interacted with, number one, making the decision, where do I really want to play? And I hope when the questions come in, I will be able to do a deeper dive in these three statements before I hand over to you. So, number one, where do I want to play? All right, people just enter a business or an industry and they want to do everything at the same time. So you must ask yourself, number one, where do I want to play? Number two, how do I win where I have chosen to play? Number three, developing the capabilities to thrive. And then before you begin to talk about resource allocation, but because oftentimes we just enter a business, we begin to use our very scarce resource, we begin to allocate it without answering these three fundamental questions. Where do I want to play? How have I decided to win or chosen to win where I've decided to play? And then do I have the capabilities, all right, to be able to deliver on where I've chosen to play and how I intend to win, and then before you start putting your resources. So I will explain this further when those questions come in. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Something you said that I just had to take a note of with a smile is, why are you in business? That particular business you're doing, why are you doing it? Is it because Mr. A is doing it and is succeeding and you think that is the next cash cow? Or because you've read up somebody's story or you've listened to some motivational speaker and you think, oh, this is simple, I can do it. The truth is this: no matter how simple that business looks, it's never simple. And that takes me to the issue of apprenticeship. That's why a lot of people will tell you, no matter the business you're doing, go learn from somebody who already is doing it. So that question is fundamental. And like I would tell you, it's never too late to stop and ask. Yes, you have been in that business for like 10 years, for like 15 years. It doesn't matter. If you have been on the wrong road for 10 years, it will not suddenly become a right road. You can stop, retrace your steps, and then restart. No matter the age, you truly can restart. So, yes, that is very critical. You also talked about, why do I want to play? How do I win? And developing the capacity. So I want to take you on one of the questions that came in. Somebody said, I run a supermarket. And before the pandemic, my business was the in thing. I served my community. I was the go to place in the entire area. Then lockdown happened. And then, even when we now could open, even when it eased out, I'm still not getting those customers back. So what do I do? How do I come back? How do I, or do I just, am I saying just leave that business and go start something else? How do I bounce back?
Okay, great. Uh, even though I would have loved to ask a lot of questions from this individual, but
Yeah.
some fundamentals are there. So again, goes back to the question, why the supermarket business? I think for quite some people, depending on the scale at which the person is running the supermarket, it's one of the easier business to open. But then it becomes more complex when you are at scale. Uh, but this is my take. So in in strategy or designing how you want to win, all right, there are at least five strategic options. But you must look at a couple of factors, e.g., the kind of business you are doing, um, what competitor is bringing on board, and some other factors to begin to stake a particular strategic option. So naturally, we know that a supermarket is it's the margins are very small. All right. So
Yeah.
if you're not doing volume, all right, you probably will be trapped with a lot of goods getting expired and then a whole lot of other stuffs. All right. The margins are very small. And then two things come to mind. All right. When a business is
Mm.
like that, number one, you want to decide what kind of supermarket do I want to run. The supermarkets in Lagos where um, they just sell high-end stuff and they have their customers and they are profitable. There's supermarkets like every other one that sells the basic stuff, but you need enough volume to be able to make financial sense. So for the latter, you probably will have what we call a low cost strategy driven business because what that means is that a supermarket has a value chain. There are many things you need to look at from sourcing, procurement to delivery, to location, to rent, and all of that. So I am saying that for the person who runs a supermarket, you already know that your margins are very small, and then you should look at your value chain of delivering service to your customers. You cannot be having a particular stage of your value chain um, very expensive. E.g., your rents are very expensive, and then you are not planning to scale or do business big time. Every component of your once you stake a low cost strategy, because there's nothing really like low price. People try to drop price to be able to win customers.
Mm.
Strategically speaking, there's nothing like low price. It's low cost. All right. So there
Interesting.
are people who run supermarkets who are able to buy in bulk and then spread the cost. All right. There are people who are able to get lower rent and then use that to leverage on pricing. All right. There are people who are able to get lower interest loans. I mean, and able to compete. So, but the average person who just gets there, gets some money either through savings or loans or whatever, and just start out without thinking about the cost structure across the value chain. And this is very important for a business that the margins are very little. And you need to understand your turnaround rate when it comes to a supermarket because most of those goods have a very low shelf life. And if you don't turn them down, of course, you're going to be doing stuff like discounts. Definitely, you are already getting into into serious problem of not being profitable, and then building the leg, the retail leg online. So interestingly, I have about three of my clients. They don't own the supermarket, but they own apps, and from the apps they distribute to households. It's convenience. I don't need to leave my house. I order on their app and the groceries are delivered to my house. All right, what they've done is that they've been able to look at, crash their costs. Like I said last Monday, is about value cost trade-off. It's about value innovation. Your costs should be dropping marginally at the same time you are delivering more value to your clients, and that is what every entrepreneur should be thinking. So these people don't own, just like Uber or Airbnb, they don't own a supermarket, but they are running big time volumes on their app. All right. Some of them see themselves as technology companies. Some of them are into delivery or distribution. They don't see themselves as a retail business, as the case may be. So that goes back to my first question: what business are you really in? All right. So if you can answer that, it helps you to build all your strengths and strategies around your business. Because if not, you just open like the next supermarket, a me too, and then before you know, things start going wrong, and you start asking yourself what happened. The truth is that your strategy needs a strategy, and it calls for us to think more.
Hmm. Wow. What is it? What I'm hearing from you is the fact that there is really you. Nobody can own that business for you. So yes, you are facing a recession and you're not alone. It's global, but it's your business. So why are you in that business? What can you do to bring your business to everybody's doorstep? And the key word here is to leverage on technology. You cannot stop leveraging on technology. How do you want to play? You can advertise with all your social media handles, the things you sell. You can afford to partner with a delivery company and begin to deliver to people. I see people send me WhatsApp messages of their products, and then they'll tell you delivery available, and they are quick to add at your cost. So you're not increasing your cost to your own detriment. But sir, there's another question on the table. And this person says, I am currently working in a government establishment. So clearly a civil servant. And was
Right.
able to open a salon business as a side hustle. And everything was fine until recently when cost of everything began to escalate. Now the salon isn't making money again like before. What do I do?
Okay, great. So I will answer this question from lots and lots of experience. So obviously, this person does not have the time, all right, to feed the newborn baby he's giving birth to, and trusted it to someone else to take care of his baby. And then that is one of the actually top three reasons why businesses fail in this environment.
Mm,
Uh, if you are not there, if you're giving birth to a business, you are not there, you've planned that the business will not succeed. It's as basic as that. It's as basic as that. It has a very, very high rate of not being a successful business. So this is my take for such an individual. You have to make your decisions um, in this way. Number one, are people still going to salons? Are people still having their hair cut? Still having their hair made? Of course, yes. All right. So, meaning that the business has not really stopped. The whole idea that the traffic has not just come to your business. That's why, because I mean, I'm after this session, I'm going to have a haircut. My wife is going to make her hair. My daughter is going to. I mean, people still do all of this every day. So it's not yes, the recession may have some impact, but the truth is that people still want to look good. All right. So it's again, I think this individual is trying to see how him or her can make extra source of income, or diversify income, because I already worked with the government, and maybe the income is not enough, or maybe this is an exit plan. I don't know. But the reality on ground is that this person needs to make more money, and it's a great initiative. Uh, Number one, you have to find a structured way, and this is why I talk about structure. All right, a structured way, and I'll try and give an example or two of how you can run your business even when you are not there. So there are business concerns that I have. I'm not there, but I receive mails every morning, automated. All right, and then I'm able to see clearly what the business. I don't wait till the end of the week. I get it every, maybe when the business is strong enough and I'm convinced I can ask every week, then maybe every month, then maybe every quarter. But at this stage, I require a daily mail sent to me so that I can see the state of the business, I can see the sales, I can see the activities, I can see the customers. I simply automated the processes of the business because I know that I won't be there all the time. All right, because most people wait till the end of the month to have some reports, and a lot of things will have gone bad. When you give birth to a new business, you have to. It requires daily attention, and you must have a system that makes sure that you are able to get feedback daily. Don't wait for the end of the week. Have a feedback daily so that you can make decisions that can help you to navigate if things are going wrong. All right, because naturally this person is saddled with a lot of responsibility because of his or her work. So you have to structure for that. The second thing is to look at. So I have a model that I run in growing a business fast. I call it the scale attribute. It's an acronym, SCALE, and one of the L there, for the sake of time, the L there is leverage assets. So I always ask myself when I run the business, what because if you're not profitable, there are many factors. It could also be that you have invested in a lot of assets that are not generating the kind of income that you need. So the question is that, do I need to own those assets? Do I need to rent them? Do I need to lease them? You must ask yourself these three questions. There are many businesses in the past that I thought that acquiring those assets will be advantageous to me, but I don't use up to 20% of the assets utilization is about 20%, meaning that probably I made a poor choice. All right, probably I could have leased it or I could have rented it to get the job done. But so there are many idle assets in our businesses that ordinarily we shouldn't own, but sits there. So for me as a person, because this will drive down your cost of doing business when you ask this fundamental question. The other thing that I've interestingly seen is that a lot of spa salons are offering mobile services. All right, so my spa today, I hardly go there. They come to my office or they come to my house with the masseuse and a little bit margin added to it. But I love the convenience because I don't have the time to go and sit in the spa and all of that. So for a salon, you should start thinking about having, because people are getting busier. For instance, here in Lagos, the traffic is crazy. So the time share to go and sit in the place to go barb a hair, make a an hairdo might be so challenging. So give your people the option. If you can't come to me, how can we come to you? And all of that. These are things that people are asking. Questionnaires were sent to me, and I said, of course, I don't mind if you can come to my office at a little price addition. I mean, once I'm able to have the massage or whatever, I'm fine. And so also they send to hundreds of customers, and they're in business, so they don't wait for people to come to their spa or their salon. They are taking the spa and the salon through other people. This is where the entrepreneur again have to start um, um, innovating and reinventing the business. All right, keep asking yourself, and what other value addition can you bring to your salon? What other things can you begin to look at? I have a salon, a client who also runs the salon, who is also looking at the challenges that came out of the lockdown. A lot of people became obese, and so started to sell, as people were having to make their hair, started to sell solutions on how they can deal with obesity and even depression. And because I mean, every problem is an opportunity. So they began to ask all of that from the traffic they got from their customers, and they were solving more problems than, of course, health problem, beauty problem, simultaneously. So this is the time where the entrepreneur needs to reinvent and innovate a lot. Because if it's just one idea of coming to make air and all of that, you may be trapped. So you must be able to, like I said last week, strategies about doing things differently or doing different things. So the entrepreneur must
Mm.
start thinking that way. Can I do different things or can I do things differently in this time of recession? Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. With that, you actually have covered quite a few other people's questions. But I would want to re-emphasize something you said. You can try to automate the business. It's possible. You can look at how to leverage on assets. You can look at how to provide mobile services. I know somebody had talked about being a farmer and how things are turning southward because of different costs that's going on. The competition is crazy, and all of that is happening. Can you add value to those products? Can you decide to not just sell the raw cassava? Can you add processing to it? Thereby, you have added value. You're able to keep it longer, and you're probably going to meet some other people's needs. So you are playing beyond one point on the value change. That might be a solution you want to consider as a farmer. Like Gilbert had said, you have a salon, and then he said two new salons have opened where there was only one. Yes, again, that's competition. Can you add mobile services to yours? Are you able to add a fit farm to yours? Maybe add fitness solutions to yours, so that they're not just coming to make their hair, they're also coming to understand how to live better? Can you add a menu plan for them? By partnering with somebody else, you may be able to do so much more in that space. So those are a few things. We can't exhaust it all. That's the honest truth. I just looked at my time, and like joke, we have done like 26 minutes already. So Dr.
Wow.
Tukuru, let me take your final words. But please note, I will come back someday. But for now, let me take your final words.
Oh, okay, great. So again, this is an interesting time for entrepreneurs. Like I always say, if you study recessions and the history of recessions, I mean, um, great companies have always been birthed during this period. Interestingly, I'm starting a new business today in a new office today, and yeah, some people ask me why am I doing something like this, and I said, look, in every problem there are opportunities, and I've only trained my mind to be able to see opportunities in all this chaos. So for me, the entrepreneur or the business person, like I mentioned earlier, strive to be an entrepreneur. Try to bring structures to your business um, as much as possible. Try to get a course done on business. There's some online, some around your neighborhood. Don't take it for granted that you know how to do a business. Get to a business school. Get to a place where you can sharpen your skills. It's never a waste of investment. Learning how to improve on yourself better. I think it was Jim Rohn that said that there is no future in any business. The future lies in the person behind the business. So
Yes.
if the business at all will thrive, you have to pay serious attention on self improvement. All right, and that is we never graduate from that as entrepreneurs. We keep getting finding a way to get back to the classroom to learn different aspects of our business. And if you're a professional, maybe a banker, a doctor coming into business, understand that it's a different ball game. You need to learn more of these skills. The mindset of a professional is different from the mindset of a business person. So you need to awaken that mindset, that business acumen, because when a doctor opens a clinic or an hospital, it's no longer about your specialty. You have to deal with procurement, you have to deal with marketing, you have to deal with patient management, you have to deal with all sorts, and you may not be prepared for that. All right. So it's very important that you structure for growth, you try and find these skills, and if you can't get all these skills, find people who have these skills and work with them, and you keep iterating as much as possible, every week, every month, every year, to keep getting better at what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Structure for growth. And I love that Jim Rohn's quote. No future in any business. The future lies in the person behind the business. Thank you so much, Dr. Tukura. I totally appreciate. I don't take it for granted that I could grab you and squeeze these two sessions off you. Thank you very much. And like I always say, I will come back. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome. And yes, thank you, Auntie Binta. Wishing Dr. Tukuru all the best in the new venture. Development remains critical, self development is key. Thank you so much, Binta, for being on this call as well. And everybody who has been on this call, I truly appreciate you. I am because you are. I know some things he has said are very key. It says strategy is not, it's doing something differently or doing something different. So don't get caught up in the mindset of things are going southward. While you are talking about south, somebody is talking about north. Train your mindset. And in all of this session, I don't know if you have noticed, something that's almost constant with everybody is the issue of training. Don't go into that business thinking you know it all. The entrepreneurial mindset is different from the employee mindset. They are very different. So don't take it for granted because you are a guru you're a C-suite person, you're a guru in the corporate world, you've risen through all the ranks, I can do this business. I totally agree you can, but there are one or two things you still need to learn. That's why we have the business schools. That's why we talk about apprenticeship. Find someone who is doing it and just understudy the person. You will add something to yourself that will make that business stand out unique. And I'm so excited because next week, somebody is coming to tell his story. And I know it will add value to you. Next week, I'm having a guest in the house talking about your dream is valid. I listened to his story and it blew me. And from his story, there are so many nuggets that we can pick up from it. And so please let everyone you know, please be on this call. It's important. Inam DJ will be with me next week, Monday, this same time. And we're going to be talking about recession. And see that, but we are going ahead all the same. So please do your best to be there with me next week, Monday. And like I always say, if you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. There's so much you can do. There's so much out there waiting for you. And like I will say, together we win. Thank you so much, everyone who has been on this call. Thank you to everyone that will watch thereafter. Remember to tell somebody that there is something out there called Knocks to Nugget. Please like, share, subscribe, and let the world know that there is Knocks to Nuggets. Until next week, Monday, again, it's Oluwayomi Ute telling you, have a beautiful week and God bless you. Bye for now.